Hey everybody! I'm doing an Instagram Live. This is my first one. It's a little different than Facebook, what I'm used to, so I'll be learning while you're learning today. So welcome. Give me some hearts if you're here. Leave some comments so I know you're here. Hey Megan! Glad you could make it. This was totally... I was just going to post in our Digitally Savvy Female Entrepreneurs Facebook group. Everybody's welcome to join. Just find us on Facebook. I was just going to post the perfect blog post layout format in there, and I thought, you know what? I need to do a live training on this. I need to dive a little bit deeper, explain a few things. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I just wanted to get on with you and walk you through it. And then I thought, well, there's lots of bloggers out there who are struggling in making their blog what they want it to be. They're struggling to grow their traffic, they're struggling to grow their influence and their income. So I thought, let's just do this on Instagram so it's public, and let's help as many women as we can today. So that's why we're over here on Instagram today. So it's a bonus training for my Blogstar Challenge 2.0 ladies, and it's a live training for everybody else. So welcome. Hey Amber, thank you for being here. Okay, I'm glad you girls are a little bit flexible with your schedules. That's awesome. So ladies, if you didn't see in our Facebook group, I put the link in there so you can download the notes. These are the notes. You can just use your notebook, that's fine, but if you need to go back later and download those notes, that way you have the layout format in front of you every time you write a blog post. For those of you who are watching that are not part of the Digitally Savvy Female Entrepreneurs Facebook group, head over there to join the group. We have a fun group over there. We'd love to have you join us and be a part of it. And within that group, you can download this form also. Otherwise, just take some really good notes. So that we want you to utilize your blog so that you're making an impact on the world, so that you're bringing value to your reader. We don't want blogs with fluff. We're bigger than that. We're more than that. We want blogs that are helpful, that, change the world by adding value to it, not wasting people's time. A lot of social media does that. We don't want that. When people come to our blogs, we want to give them value so that they come back and they're like, this is a good place to be. I like it here. I like the value here. I'm coming back. So that's what we're going to dive into. So get your notebooks out or your notes, and let's go over the perfect blog post layout. Here we go. So we begin at the very, very top with the title. Now, oftentimes when I am writing my blog post, I do not actually title it until I am completely done with my content, because usually I say something within my content where I'm like, oh, that's a pretty good title, or I like that thought. Let me, tweak it a little bit so it fits as a title. But you want to kind of have a working title, so it gives you a guideline to what you're writing about so that you don't go off on tangents, okay? So your blog title needs to be something that makes your ideal reader go, yes, this woman gets me. Yes, this blogger understands what I'm struggling with. Or, ooh, I can't wait to read this blog post. If she only sees the title, that's the type of reaction that you want to have her having, right? You want her to be excited. You want her to want more from you. So your blog post title needs to capture attention, but it also needs to capture the attention of the search engines. That means you need to have some keywords in there. You need to have the type of words that your ideal reader would be going to Google to search to find you. Okay, so if you're talking about training your dog, then you want to have something within the blog post title about training your dog to sit, or training your dog to be getting your puppy potty trained or training your dog on a leash, something with those keywords so that when someone who has never been to your blog before goes to Google or any other search engine and pops in the search bar a few key terms, your blog post on that topic is going to pop up. So not only does it have to grab the attention of your ideal reader, it has to grab the attention of the search engines. And when you have your readers share your blog post and you share your blog post, quite often the only piece of information that someone new seeing that link gets about your blog is that blog title, that blog post title. So, it just really has to be a strong, strong title. It needs to be unique, specific, and add value. So here are some ways to create a great blog post title. You ready? Add an odd number. Okay, that sounds funny, but research has shown that blog posts with odd numbers in them are more successful. They get more clicks, they get more readership. So numbers like 3, 7, 15, 17, because it kind of piques curiosity. It makes people go, well, why isn't it just the 5 top ways? Why is it 7 ways? What are those extra 2 ways, right? It kind of piques the interest. It makes them curious about that. Everybody's used to the top 5, top 10, top 20, top 100, okay? So, make it an odd number. Come up with one extra point to make it an odd number that isn't a 5 or 15, okay? All right. So, like 9 ways to improve your self-confidence would be an example. It's got the 9 key ways that's enticing to your reader. It's got improved self-confidence that's enticing to search engines. So you have that combination of both. Okay, keep your title concise. We're trying to fit in a lot of information on a very short line, but you want your blog titles to be 8 to 12 words. Those are the most popular for sharing. So think about the length of your blog title. Don't go too long where it goes on and on. You know how a book has the main title and then they have the subtitle? Don't make your blog post title like that. You don't want to have this long, lengthy piece of information. Keep it really concise, just the title. Okay, address the reader using you. Like the form of you or yours. It helps her to feel like you're talking directly to her. If you were in the Blog Star Challenge, we talked about, coming up with your ideal reader and how important that is. And we also talked about how every time you're writing a piece of content, whether it's a blog post or a video or a podcast, you want to think of that one person, that one ideal reader, and communicate directly to that person. So with your presentation, with your blog title, it's going to be wise to use you, your, that type of thing. How to take your business to the next level with 3 simple steps would be an example of that. Okay, include the benefit to your ideal reader. What is she going to get out of this blog post? Why should she invest 5 minutes into reading your blog post? You need to tell her that within the title so that she knows, once again, that she's diving into a piece of valuable information. So in the last example, how to take your business to the next level in 3 simple steps, the value for her is taking her business to the next level. She's going to learn something from you that's going to help her in her business. Okay, people respond to negative blog titles. Okay, we live in a negative world. I think people kind of thrive on that a little bit. So you can take advantage of that if you choose to do that. So if you're having a hard time coming up with a blog title, try to include words like no, without, worst, or stop. So an example of that would be the 7 biggest lies online coaches are telling you. Okay, so that's kind of a negative. Because who are these online coaches and what lies are they telling me? I need to read this. And 7, they're lying to me 7 different ways. Okay, that sounds more interesting than something like 13 ways to grow your business, your online business. Okay, that's not as dramatic, that's not as enticing, and it doesn't draw my attention in as great as the other example. So think about a negative approach to your blog title. Okay, so moving on, we have our blog title. And the next thing I want you to have in your ideal blog post is a big, beautiful image that relates to your blog post. And it needs to be on brand. It needs to represent who you and your blog are. It needs to be relatable to your ideal reader. So when she sees it, she recognizes you in that. If you're using really bold and bright branding, then your blog post images should have really bold, bright colors. If you're using more soft and muted images on your Instagram, then you need to be using soft, muted images on your blog posts as well. Okay, so keep it branded. A powerful visual represents the content that you're about to create. So she decides, yes, I want to read this blog post based on your title. And she clicks to read more. And first thing, bam, she sees this picture. Captures her attention. She gets the impression that maybe it's about exercising because it's a picture of running shoes. Or she gets the impression that it's about being a mom because it's a mom hugging a child. Okay, so it's related to the post content. An image does 3 things for your blog post. It tells a story that corresponds with the blog post. It gives that visual image that your ideal reader needs. Some people are very visual learners, okay, and they need to see an image that relates to that blog post. It helps them to resonate with what you're writing. It also helps them to remember what your blog post is about because they remember that visual. It supports your brand aesthetics, okay, just like we talked about. Make sure it's on brand. And it makes your post shareable on social media. It is so frustrating to me when I go to a website and there's some great content that I want to share to Pinterest, and I click to pin and there's no image that comes up. So make sure that you have a really great, at least one really great image that goes with your blog post so people can pin it. Or if they share to Facebook, that an image pops up with your content, because those images are attention grabbers when people are scanning, the way we scan these days. Okay, next you have the opening of your blog post. So title, image, opening. And this is basically a preview of what the reader can expect from the blog post they're about to read. It's just the first 3 to 4 sentences that they are going to read. Like a lot of times blogs have it set up where you see an image and you see a short preview and you click to read more. Well, if those 3 to 4 sentences don't entice the person to want to read more, they're not going to click to see what the rest of the blog post is about. So this section, this opening statement, needs to be strong. It needs to grab attention, it needs to pique their interest, and it needs to even add a little bit of value where they can see, I read the rest of this post and I'm going to walk away with XYZ. Okay, so make that section strong. Now, in the perfect blog post layout, you have the opening. They click to read more. It opens up to the new full complete blog post. And you're right there in bold, you're going to have a subhead. So subhead 1. This is going to be like a bolded, bigger font so that it catches their eye right away. It's going to have keywords, so it's good for search engine optimization. And it's also going to tell the reader what they're going to expect in the upcoming section. It gives them the benefit of continuing to read. So if I'm talking about brand visibility online, okay, that could be my subhead. getting your brand visible online. That would be my subhead, and then this upcoming section is going to talk specifically about that. Okay, and then past that bolded subtitle, you're going to share a personal story that relates to the topic of your blog post. You want this to be about you, really, and your experience with whatever it is that you're talking about. So if we stick with the idea of brand visibility online, that's my subhead, then that section of the blog post is going to be my own personal story with how I evolved as a brand and became more visible online by doing certain things. Okay, so it's my own personal experience with that topic. And you want this part to be the part where the readers are really relating to you and going, oh, I'm just like that. I get that. I understand that. I relate to her, to you as the blogger. Okay, that's where you really want to capture them as a friend almost. You're drawing them into your personal life. After your personal story, after that section of the blog post, you're going to have a call to action, a CTA. This is your first call to action. Hey guys, thank you for being on. We're talking about the perfect blog post layout. Okay, so this is just a simple action that you want your ideal reader to take. So this is a good place to put like a click to tweet. So if you use that plugin where it's click to tweet, just pick something out of your personal story that they can click to share it over to Twitter. Or this is a really good place also to put a pinnable image, click to pin kind of thing, where maybe it has a quote that you pull out of your personal story, something that relates to your blog post that they can share. So it's a call to action. You could also have a link to another blog post with that's somewhere on your blog that relates to this topic. So you share your personal story, and you could say something like, to read more about my branding experience online, check out this article. And you just have a link that leads them to a new blog post on your website. Okay? So some type of call to action. After that first call to action, you're going to have subhead number 2. Again, the subhead is going to be bigger font, bold font, calls attention. You know how when you scan a blog post or you scan a page on the website, you see these bigger pieces of information that hit you and you know what that section is about. That's what these subheads are doing for your reader. So she really truly is rushed. She can just scan your blog post really quickly and get to the information that she wants quickly. So in the subhead 2, this is where you're going to tell your ideal reader what she is about to learn. And you are going to teach her in the next step. So it could be like 6 ways to manifesting more money. Or, that would be your subtitle. If we're sticking with the branding example, you could say 6 ways to make your brand more visible online. Okay, so that's the next section. It's just the subhead right there. It's just a few keywords that's good for search engine, and it's good for your reader when she's skimming. Next, you're going to get into the meat of the blog post. You're going to really dive deep into the content. What is this blog post about? Give her the how to do whatever it is you're teaching her. So if I'm teaching her 6 ways to make her blog more visible online, then I get into those 6 points right here. And I talk about 1, do this, 2, do this, 3, do this. This is just the facts. This is the stuff that she can put into action. If you're teaching her how to exercise from home, this is where you're going to show her those individual exercises. Do these 3 arm exercises 3 times a week. Boom, show her those 3 arm exercises. If you're teaching her how to homeschool her kids and do a math lesson outside in nature, then you're going to show her right here in this content section, do this step, then this step, then this step, then this step, and you have the activity all laid out to her, okay? This is really what she's coming to your blog post for. This is really the content, the value-driven piece. All the other stuff that we've already talked about is the relationship. It's allowing her to get to know you. It's you saying, hey, I understand where you're at. I've been there. And it's, things that help her to read your blog post more easily by breaking it up into sections. But the content is really where the value is, that section. And then after you do all of your talking through how to do whatever it is you're teaching her, you're going to have a second call to action. Ask her to share your post. If you found this post valuable, please share it on Facebook, or please share it with your friends, or please forward this blog post to someone that you think would find it useful. Okay? If you have your blog set up well, you're going to have those share buttons on there where you are, able to, how you go to a blog and you click it and share to Pinterest or share to Facebook. So you want to tell her, you have to be specific with people and tell them what to do. What action do you want her to take? This is also a really good place after you've given her great value is to say, if you found this blog post valuable, make sure you sign up for my free opt-in that talks about X, Y, and Z. Okay, something that relates to what you just talked about. More homeschooling tips, more cooking tips, more exercising tips, whatever it is, and get her on your email list. You've just given her a ton of free content. You've related to her. You've, built up this personal relationship with her. She felt understood. She is going to opt in. So, a call to action. Be specific what you want her to do and clear how she should do it. Click this button, whatever it is. And then you sign off. A lot of bloggers don't do this. And I just feel like we have really worked hard in the Blogstar Challenge, if you were a part of that, to identify who our ideal reader is so that we can talk to her one-on-one and feel like she's a friend of ours and she's part of our community. And you want her to feel the same about you. You want to be her go-to girl. So treat her like a friend. Treat her with, respect. Don't just end the blog post. Say goodbye. Sign off just like you would when you're writing a letter, the old-fashioned way, or even an email where you sign off. Thanks for reading. With love and success, with love and support, XOXO. Until next time, or I'm here to support you. However you want to sign off, that is branded. It feels good to your brand. It vibes with your brand. Sign off and sign your name. And you can create an image for that. I do that on, I do that on one of my blogs, but not the other. So however you want to do that, just make sure you're doing a signature line at the end of your post so she knows that it's over and you have said goodbye to her kindly, okay? All right, so that is the perfect blog post layout. One additional fact that I want to give you is that the most successful length for a blog post, meaning it gets the most interaction and shares and traffic coming into it, they have found to be about 1,200 words. That sounds like a lot, but if you're only posting once a week, which is what I recommend, you really have time to add a lot of value to that blog post, and you can get to 1,200 words pretty easily when you're incorporating your personal story and making those subtitles and calls to actions. Each of those pieces adds to that. So you really want to shoot for about 1,200 words. So keep it consistent so that your ideal reader knows what to expect from you. Okay? If you have any questions regarding the perfect blog post layout, type them in now, and I will get to them in just a moment. I just wanted to share with you, if you are a blogger or a brand new blogger, you just got your blog up, I want to invite you to join me in Project Blog. Project Blog is my program where I take bloggers through 8 weeks of content to help you grow your traffic, grow your influence, and grow your income. So if you're struggling with wondering, now what do? I have this blog, now what? Okay, this program is perfect for you. If you've been blogging for a while and you're finding it hard to gain traction in any of those areas, this program is perfect for you. This content training that I did today was just an example of the type of content that you'll find in Project Blog. We really dive deep into a lot of different areas that can help you build a blog that's going to help you live the laptop lifestyle of your dreams, or it's going to help you build a blog that is going to support a product or a service that you already have. So I hope you'll consider joining me in Project Blog. The doors close on June 4th. We're opening the program up for all our new participants on June 4th. So you have a few days to check that out. I want you to go to my bio, Tammy Gibson Online, and the link to Project Blog is in my bio. So check it out. I really encourage you, if you're serious about using your blog as a support to an existing business or as a business in itself, then Project Blog is definitely the right choice for you. So check that out, and let me see what questions you guys are having. Motivating your money, hun. I'm assuming that once I stop this, I can save it to my phone, right? I know I can for Facebook. I'm not sure about Instagram. So I do know it's going to be up for a day. 24 hours is how long they let you keep it up. Okay, girls, thank you for saying hi and thank you for being here. Love having you. So I'm not sure if there's going to be a replay. I am going to try and save it to my phone. I'm thinking I probably can. It wouldn't make sense to not. So if there is, then I am going to put that in the Digitally Savvy Female Entrepreneurs Facebook group, and you can see it there. If not, you have 24 hours to rewatch this. And those that popped on late, I put the layout, the notes for this training in the Digitally Savvy Female Entrepreneurs group. So if you're not a part of that group, please join us in there and you can download the notes for this. If you are already a member in there, then it's in there for you to download. Okay, is there a plugin like for adding social media buttons? Yes, Tiffany, that is in Project Blog. So you already have access to that. So that's in Project Blog. There's a few recommendations that I use. Some of the WordPress themes already come with that plugin already installed. If your WordPress theme doesn't have that, then yes, it's super easy and there's suggestions in Project Blog. So check out the resources section of making your blog post go viral. Okay, it's in that one. Yes, you can save it to the phone. Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm new to doing it on Instagram, but I thought, hey, I want to build my Instagram following more, so that's kind of where I need to be, right? I need to be out in the world for the public to see versus just hiding in our safe Facebook group. So here I am. Thank you for sharing that with me so I'm learning with you. So thank you. Any other questions about creating your perfect blog post? Those of you who are doing the Blogstar Challenge and you're working to earn that free Blogstar t-shirt, this is going to help you with that, because remember, part of the criteria is to have at least one blog post up. So make sure that you're kind of following this guideline, follow that layout, plug in those sections, and you're going to get that great first blog post up, okay? Thanks, ladies. Thanks for being here. Let me see if I can figure out how to turn this off now. Thank you. Bye. Have a good night. Oh, here we go. And ha, bye.